In this video, I will share how top entrepreneurs made their first $1 million. And I will share what I think we can learn from their stories. If you learned something else, please share in the comments. Also, let us know in the comment below if you want to learn about someone else. Subscribe to our channel and switch on the notification bell button to get notified every time we upload a new video. You may know Michael Burry for predicting the Great Recession of 2008 by analyzing the stock market. He made his first million through analyzing the financial investments and market investments. But the road was not easy for him. In childhood, he lost his sight due to a rare disease. He also had trouble communicating with people and preferred isolation. He studied pre-med and economics, and after graduation he started his residency at Stanford Hospital. But he always had a passion for financial investments. He studied online and launched his own blog on his opinions on stock market trends, and soon caught the eyes of some high-profile fund managers in the market. At 29, he quit his medical career and started his own investment company, Scion Capital. The founder of Gotham Capital offered him $1 million to buy into ownership of Scion Capital. That investment later amounted to $100 million, thanks to the management of Michael Burry. So, what do we learn from this? You may have difficulties, and the world is not a fair place. It's an unfair place. But if you have the courage and passion and you work hard enough, it will bring you success. Noah Kahan is a true example of slow and steady wins the race. On a YouTube video on 1st July 2021, he mentioned his company AppSumo.com is worth $85 million. How did it happen? Long story, and that's a story for another video. Today, we will learn how he made his first $1 million. Well, Noah planned, explored many sectors, and most importantly, he did not rush anything. He kept his cool throughout the time and became successful by grinding the way up. At 22, he graduated from college with degrees in business and economics. He began his career as a marketing analyst at Intel. He was paid $55,000 a year, but he wanted to be his own boss. That's when he started to look for side hustle. He was blogging on outdoor.com, ran a discount site, ninjacard.com. At 23, he was able to join Facebook team working directly under Mark Zuckerberg. Thanks to the side hustles he had been doing before, he got paid $65,000 per year and got to meet many interesting people which helped him in the future. Unfortunately, he lost his job on Facebook and he didn't get his equity. At 24, he started CommunityNext.com and arranged a conference which earned him net profit of $200,000. And he got to meet a lot more interesting people. He got a job at Mint.com that year for $100,000 per year. His marketing plan helped Mint to reach million-plus subscribers. At that time, he saw an opportunity in Facebook gaming. He jumped in, and at one point, he was the #1 Facebook app developer online. He earned $75,000 a year at that time. He turned the Facebook games business into Gambit as a payment processor for Facebook games and made about $360,000 that year. He wanted to work on his next business plan and quit Facebook apps. That's when AppSumo was born. Side by side, he worked for other companies as a consultant. Finally, in 11 years, yes, 11 years, he was able to make his first $1 million in total net worth. He keeps a low profile, keeping his living cost low so that he can invest more money in different passive earning sectors. What do we learn from this? Don't drop out from college or from study if it's working for you, if you are capable of running your study. Education is a good thing and it's not a bad thing. Employment is not a bad thing. Don't hate your job. What's important is whether you love it or not. Noah loved working for most of the companies he worked for. If you are in a job that you love, you have a chance to learn your craft on other people's money. Besides, if you are happy with what you are doing, then it's perfect. Do not be afraid of exploring new stuff. Noah tried new stuff and look where he is today. Your network is your net worth. Try hanging out with people you want to be. Spend money if needed. This will help you make connections. These connections will help you hit your goals faster. If you want to make money, ask yourself what problem you can solve that people, your customers, will spend money for. Do what you love. One way to do this is to try and work for the companies you love to use. Noah loved Facebook, so he tried and he worked for them. Then later he built apps and payment processor for Facebook. He loved working as consultant. He loved softwares and people, his customers, loved deals. So he built AppSumo and it was a hit. Overnight success is a myth. If you love what you do and you can sell it, yes, you can make money. But you still need good amount of time and effort to turn it into a big success in terms of money. Charlie Munger was the vice president of Berkshire Hathaway. He was the right-hand man of Warren Buffett. Before that, he was a successful lawyer, real estate developer, and stock market investor. Charlie Munger focused on a wide range of subjects which later became the root of his success. He worked at Warren Buffett's grandfather's grocery store. He worked at a 12-hour shift for $2 per day. It was painful, but learned valuable life lessons from there. He had a bright academic career. At the age of 17, he enrolled in mathematics and physics for graduation. At 19, he enlisted in the army, was promoted to second lieutenant, and was sent to Alaska, where he learned to play poker, which taught him to calculate and apply a probabilistic mindset, which came in handy later on his investing. At 22, he attended Harvard Law School and graduated among the top 3%. At 25, his salary was $275 per month, which was above the average income of an American household. At that time, he invested in the business of military equipment during the Korean War. But soon the war ended and he pretty much lost his investment. This whole experience provided him a new perspective and a lesson about investment. But as you all know, life is a bumpy road and setbacks were just starting for Munger. Had a divorce, lost everything in that separation. His son died in leukemia because his medical bills were not covered by insurance. So after a massive hit, both mentally and financially, most people would not recover. But this was the redemption time for Munger. In 1959, Munger met Buffett. Buffett was limiting his investment to companies that were cheap, but Munger had a different viewpoint due to his previous experience, and they hit it off immediately. In the 1960s, Munger started out real estate development. He found that it took very little capital and he could magnify it with brain power and energy. He got $500,000 back on $100,000 investment. At age of 38, he quit his job as a lawyer. He earned almost $300,000, mostly from his investments. He started a law firm and bought a company called Fund of Letters, a closed-end investment fund. He had earned $1.4 million from real estate developments and investments in his early 40s, with a track record that beats the legendary investor Peter Lynch. So, what do we learn from this? Work hard. Don't wait for the big success. Start working on what you have and do what you can. Invest wisely. If you lose, no worries. Just don't make the same mistake twice. Take it as a lesson. Get up and start working towards your goal. Don't let personal issues interfere in your mission. You will be knocked down. Just remember, this is not the end. The most important thing is whether you decide to get up or not. Grant is a best-selling author, a great sales trainer, renowned speaker, international social media influencer, a real estate legend. It might seem pretty amazing, but he had a long struggle before he came to this point. At the age of 10, Grant lost his father. His mother was forced to support 5 children all by herself. Despite having no education and work experience, she managed a way to make it work. It caused Grant to grow up in a poor and harsh condition. The trauma of losing his father and elder brother, along with poverty, led him to a self-destructive path, taking bad company and addiction to drugs. At the age of 25, a traumatic event occurred. He was robbed and beaten so badly that his mother could not recognize him in the hospital. Later, his mother kicked him out of the house and he had to check into a rehab center. This was the wake-up call for him. He decided to leave drugs and avoided any connections he had with the drug addict friends and all other negative influences. He had a degree in accounting but faced issues finding job. Finally, he got a job as a car salesperson and started learning how to influence people along with all the knowledge about the automobile industry. His income doubled to $6,000 per month. He mostly invested his time in implementing his knowledge, and that hard work paid him off, helping him become one of the best car salesmen in the country. He was fired from the job despite his success skyrocketing. But Grant, with immense confidence, decided to go independent. He started his own sales consulting business. He sold his sales strategy courses across the country. At the age of 30, he became a millionaire with these businesses. He was disciplined with his money. Every time he was paid off, he used that money to invest in real estate. These sacrifices he made every single day helped him become a millionaire at a very early age. So, what do we learn from this? Bad things happen in life, but don't go with bad company. College education is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. If you can afford education, go for it. Invest in real estate and other passive income schemes from what you are earning. Even if your income is low, learn new skills and implement them to build wealth. There is no shortcut. Gary Vee is a Belarusian American entrepreneur, author, speaker, and internet personality. Born in the Soviet Union, his family came to the USA in 1978. They were living in the American dream. His father worked hard in a liquor store and saved enough money to buy a store in New Jersey. At 21 years of age, he launched his first e-commerce business, naming WineLibrary.com, which took care of his father's wine business. He worked with his father for 12 years, growing the business to $60 million. At the age of 34, he left his business with no money in hand. He had to start all over and started VaynerMedia. a social media focused digital agency. He provided social media strategy to more than 500 companies, earning $100 million in revenue. What do we learn from this? Simple. Use social media. Social media has enough free traffic to make you wealthy. This is less likely that you haven't heard his name. Steve Jobs was an American business tycoon, industrial designer, investor, and media proprietor. He was the chairman, chief executive officer, and co-founder of Apple. He faced a difficult childhood as he had to go through adoption. His biological parents had to give him up because their religions were different, and later was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, who did not have a college education. His affection for craftsmanship was passed along by his father. By the age of 10, he was deeply involved in electronics. At the age of 13, he was given a summer job. At the age of 16, he joined the electronics club. At that time, he and his best friend and an electronics wizard, Wozniak, designed and sold a low-cost digital blue box, which allowed users free long-distance calls. This provided them the base of confidence to pursue higher goals. At the age of 19, he started working as a technician at Atari. At 20 years of age, he was assigned by Atari to build a circuit board for an arcade video game. He and Wozniak worked hard, but the company did not pay enough. In 1976, he and Wozniak built Apple I, a kit for building PC. The operation was started in his bedroom and later moved to the garage. Eventually, they produced 200 Apple computers in total. This was the foundation for their next step. Investors realized its potential and started to invest in Apple II. Apple II allowed users to create and sell their own programs, which attracted computer enthusiasts. At the age of 23, he made $2 million in profit from Apple II alone, making him a millionaire. What do we learn from this? If you love something, work hard on it. Don't be lazy. Do what you love. Team up with friends who have passions for what they do the best. Use passion as motivation. Together, win big and easy. You obviously heard about Amazon, right? The mastermind behind this vast internet-based enterprise was Jeff Bezos. Jeff's company Amazon currently has over 1 million employees, and only on 2020, during COVID-19 pandemic, they hired over 400,000 employees. Jeff graduated with a degree in electrical engineering and computer science. He used to work for Fittle and Bankers Trust from 1998 to 1990. At the age of 26, he joined the New York investment bank D.E. Shaw. He was in charge of examining the possible investment opportunity on the internet. He saw that web usage at that time was increasing by more than 2,000% a year, which led him to quit D.E. Shaw to follow his entrepreneurial dream. At the age of 30, he moved to Seattle, starting with a few employees at his garage. He started developing the software for the site Amazon. He collected $300,000 from his investors for the launch. There was every way to mess things up, and he warned his investors that there was a very high chance that Amazon would fail and go bankrupt. But it flourished, creating a yearly sale of $500,000. At the age of 31, he became a millionaire, which was the beginning of his reign in this industry. So what do we learn from this? When you see an opportunity, take it. You have to take risks, and you cannot win without a proper team. Hire the best people and don't forget to think ahead. We all heard the story of Robert Bruce and the spider in our childhood. If you want to see the real life example of that story, look no further. Jack Ma persistently failed at everything once and ended up becoming the richest person in Asia. He was born in a traditional musician and storyteller family with two siblings. During his childhood, he always had a habit of learning new skills. At the age of 8, when tourism boomed in China, he started to work as a tourist guide to learn English. He failed in his primary schools twice, 3 times in middle school, and that's not the end. He got rejected from Harvard University 10 times. Then he graduated in English from college. He applied to more than 30 jobs to be rejected again and again. At the age of 31, he started a translation service business and got to visit the USA. There he saw the huge opportunity on the World Wide Web. He came back and created China Page to promote Chinese products and businesses around the world, but he had to shut it down due to lack of funding. He took a government job at the Ministry of Foreign Trade. This facilitated him to make more connections with influential people like Jerry Yang of Yahoo. At the age of 35, he left his job to start an internet-based business venture, Alibaba. He was rejected by Silicon Valley as they considered Alibaba as an unprofitable and unsustainable business model. And yes, at that time he was only 18 months away from bankruptcy, but this time luck was on his side. Goldman Sachs and SoftBank invested $5 million and $20 million respectively. After the end of the dot-com boom, Alibaba faced serious issues. But Jack Ma was up to the challenge, recognizing his business model and focusing on gaining the Chinese market. Later on, they established their position in the Chinese economy by driving eBay out of China and became one of the largest companies originating outside of the USA. What do we learn from this? Nothing is impossible. Did you like this video? We put a lot of effort on it. Please like this video and share with your friends and family in order to inspire us to make more videos like this. And we will see you in the next video.